Cool. Thanks for having me. My name's Ethan Smith-Gillespie from Portland, Oregon, and I run a digital agency, we're the Program, and we focus on anywhere a brand is a digital touch point, from interactive installations to large-scale web and mobile applications to more immersive digital experiences with large format touch and single board computers and all sorts of things like that, from events to retail to purely in the internet space.
Cool. Well, welcome, Ethan.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming all this way. You found yourself now at the helm of a business, 16 people, managing these big projects. How did that happen?
Good question. When I was in high school, I was a partner in a clothing company and did that for several years, where I stayed more on the design side, more on the interactive side of the company, and got to a point where I just don't like fashion or that industry. And through a series of events, I'm ready to start a small design studio, focusing really on engineering, because that was more of my background. So I did that for several years, bringing in contractors here and there, freelancers, one or two staff, just to really embed ourselves with different brands and get that experience we needed, and also be very, very agile and stay small.
Right.
About 3 years ago, I decided it's time to grow a company, and so it's really kind of a contextual shift from being a 1, 2, 3 person studio that kind of goes and embeds themselves with clients, to actually taking a step back, trying to do less of the business but truly run the business and grow a company. And through that exercise, we've scaled up now to about 16 people, and we're really focusing this year on growing our design side of the company and creative side, because we feel like we're very strong on our engineering side, and frankly we are delivering on creative, but I know that's an area we can really grow.
Okay, so one day you wake up and you find that you're in charge of 16 people's lives. What's the personal transformation that happens?
I'm still figuring that out. I think one of the biggest things is truly trying to get away from the minutia and the day-to-day of doing the business and truly running it. I feel like that is an obligation I have to my team, to make sure that I'm providing an environment and facilitating an environment where they can all grow individually, come together as a team to really kind of find, I guess you could say, fulfillment in what they're doing by creating these really innovative experiences for our clients. But I'm still truly understanding the impact of that, and it's certainly has its ebbs and flows every day.
So when you made this transformation from what you were doing to creating the program, what was the plan that you had? Did you even have a plan?
Yeah, I knew I didn't want to be. I never wanted to grow into a full service company. My roots, again, background is in engineering. Over the years, bringing on better engineers, I got much more into experience and interface design. So through that, it's really kind of shed light on what I want to be doing.
So did you ever write a business plan, have a strategic direction, or did it kind of evolve?
Strategic direction, yes. No business plan. The direction was never get into print, never get into events unless we're part of a digital activation. Don't become an ad agency, and don't scale based on body count. Scale based on quality of service and obviously revenue. And then the body count will grow to support that.
So that's an interesting perspective on growth. So growth as a strategy has never really been important to you? Is that?
Yeah, I look at it as certainly we have numbers that we want to hit, but my goal is to create the most innovative and really killer engineering and design work that we can to help our clients grow their businesses and their brand presence on a global scale. And to me, that's the most fulfilling piece, as long as I'm paying the bills and providing an environment that people are truly enjoying to come to work, and not feeling burnout, but feeling challenged all the time to grow their skill set. That's really what my goal has been. And again, just I want to work for our clients rather than go work at part of a larger organization.
Got it. So when you're having a tough day, something didn't go quite the way you expected. Where do you turn? Who or what guides you to the decision that you need to make?
Yeah, I have a few local people and a few people who outside of Portland who I really look to, who just they're older than me, they're more seasoned than me. I fully understand that I don't have all the answers, nor will I ever, nor do I want to. I know areas that I'm good at, know areas that I'm not as good at, and for that I look to both my team to just again enabling them to do their best work, being that sort of you could say chief enabling officer, right? I think we have talked about that in the past, but who do I go to? Again, just various advisors, both in the industry, outside of the industry. I think it also really depends on the problem of the day.
Right. Have you ever considered things like getting an MBA or formal education as a solution, or is that just not
I haven't
going to help?
thought of it as a solution. It's funny you ask that. So I got out of high school pretty early. I was homeschooled in my younger years. So I was able to, this is why I picked up a lot of engineering stuff. I was able to learn what I wanted at the pace that I could. So I sort of accelerated through a few things, went to college, and the whole goal is I'm gonna have my MBA by the time I'm 21. Well, I think it was the first year of college I started a business, and so I was doing, the night school, the weekends, that kind of program, and eventually 4 or 5 years into it, I'm talking to my counselor and realize I have all these credits, but I don't even have enough to get my degree because I'm taking classes I want to learn, not necessarily classes that are part of the business degree I was going for. So I took a few other classes, got my degree, and then I just realized there's no reason for me to get my MBA now, as long as I'm still in the learning mode all the time, talking with the right people, reading the right articles and periodicals. I really realized that if I ever wanted to get my MBA, it would truly be to probably pivot my career and do something else.
So somebody that's starting out in this space, where do they go to get the guidance and the direction they need?
I think from a design and engineering perspective, there's so many fantastic resources out there right now. Even Jason with Envy and his team in Code School and Treehouse and all these great tutorials and books. I would, if it was me starting over again, I would forego, and focusing on engineering in school, I would forego, or engineering design, I'd forego school. I would try and embed myself. I would read a bunch of books. I would do a bunch of fake work or real work or cheap work. I'd try to get an internship, and I would just start working and learning from people who have been around, people who are seasoned, and finding 1 or 2 mentors to really look to grow that. On the business side, however, I'm not really sure the best way to approach that. It kind of just evolved over time. I'd studied business in school. I can't tell you I got a tremendous amount of value from that. I think the most value I've received is just this real world experience and kind of being forced to make decisions.
Right. So from a macro perspective, looking at the industry, where are we headed? What are the trends? What are the obstacles and opportunities ahead of us?
Oh man, so many.
Too many.
I think digital and retail is a huge one right now. I know that's a big area of our focus. The industry is a weird one. I'm still trying to understand it. It's so trendy right now. We're talking about flat design for the last 2 years. Maybe 3 years ago, responsive design came into play, and all of these kind of keywords and buzzwords. And I don't know. I really don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. I am personally, and in our company, we're very interested in where physical and digital collide, whether that's in a museum, at an event, in a retail environment. So that's where a big focus of ours is.
Okay, cool. So final question is, if you had to describe your individual leadership style to somebody, how would you do that in a short phrase?
I think patience is a big one, and I think maybe compassion, yet still holding people accountable, and then just enabling people. Identifying the right people who I think would fit with the company, but also who I've just are great individuals, but also skilled at what they do, and then give them a platform to do their best work and try and get out of the way.
Great answer. Cool. Well, thanks for your time. Really appreciate you coming all this way.
Thanks, Richard.
Cool.